Welcome to Better System Trader, the podcast to help systematic traders of all levels improve their trading. We'll give you loads of expert tips and practical advice on system design and validation, money management, trading psychology, and many other topics. Whether you're just starting out or a savvy systematic trader, we're here to help you improve your trading and find more success. This is Better System Trader with your host, Andrew Swanscott.
Hi there and welcome to Better System Trader. Glad you could join us and hope you're having a great week. I just realized a few seconds before I hit the record button here that it's August already. I can't believe it'll be Christmas before we even know it. How crazy is that? Anyway, today I wanted to share with you a trading thought from Dave Walton of Statistrade. As systematic and algorithmic traders, we've got a number of tools and processes that we can use to test and validate trading strategies. For example, in-sample, out-of-sample testing, walk-forward analysis, cluster analysis. There are a bunch more that I can't think of right now. Oh, don't forget all the fancy name techniques that have been kind of lumped in with machine learning that are really sometimes just rebadged techniques that have been around for ages anyway, but one of the tools that we have at our disposal is Monte Carlo analysis. Now, I think it's always good when you're using a tool to understand how it works, what are its strengths and what are its weaknesses. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit of audio from Dave Walton explaining Monte Carlo analysis, including the benefits and a few of the weaknesses or false assumptions around Monte Carlo analysis that we really need to be aware of if we want to use it effectively. So let's head over to Dave now and hear what he has for us.
Yeah, sure. So effectively, this is how I look at Monte Carlo. Effectively, what it does is you have the historical performance of a trading system. It can be either back-tested or traded live. Obviously, it means something more. It means more if it's actually live trades, but because of the data mining bias I mentioned before. But let's assume it's back testing. So you have a simulated equity curve or set of trades that you get from your back tester, and there's basically two ways that Monte Carlo is typically applied. One is the individual trade results are kind of reshuffled. That's a very common method. Or another approach is the actual, bar by bar returns can be reshuffled as well. And the Monte Carlo approach, of course, randomizes which bars or trade samples you're choosing and stitches together another set of trades or another equity curve, and you do that many thousands of times, and what you end up with is a distribution. So instead of having one path, you have in theory thousands of paths to draw conclusions from. So, and that's great. Definitely advocate using a range of performance or distribution for drawing conclusions from a trading system, but the big problem that I see with Monte Carlo techniques applied to trading is, first of all, where that initial set of trades or equity curve is coming from. If it's coming from an optimized backtest, well, then effectively what is done is you have an overfit input that becomes an overfit an overfit output. And in the computer industry, we have a saying for that. It's called garbage in, garbage out. So that, Monte Carlo cannot save you from that. The other thing is there's some assumptions that are made when applying Monte Carlo, which in a lot of cases are not valid depending on the trading system that you're using. So specifically what I mean is one of the assumptions of applying a Monte Carlo approach is that trades or the returns from the equity curve, depending on which approach you're using, are independent and identically distributed, meaning that any of those individual trades or returns could happen at any time. And we know from a lot of analysis of capital markets that that is actually not a safe assumption, that there's a lot of clustering of volatility in similar types of trades around different points in time. And we don't see an equal distribution across time, which Monte Carlo assumes. The other problem is if you have any kind of trading system that uses multiple instruments or symbols, it gets very complicated, first of all, but the net of it is that portfolio effects are effectively ignored in applying the approach, meaning there's no, it's not a simulation, a complete historical simulation. It's a simplification, meaning it assumes that any trades could happen together at the same time and produce a return. It could, depending on the algorithm, it could actually pick the same trade twice and assume that trade happened with itself at the same time, as an example. And it also assumes that you have the buying power to take those trades at the given time, which in a lot of cases is not a good assumption either.
So there we go, a number of benefits and weaknesses to Monte Carlo analysis that we really need to be aware of if we're using Monte Carlo as part of our strategy creation or validation process. If you'd like to hear more from Dave about strategy validation, that piece of audio was taken from episode number 51, which you can access at bettersystemtrader.com/51. So thanks for listening, enjoy the rest of your week, and happy trading. Okay, well that's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Come on over to bettersystemtrader.com. That's where you'll find all the previous episodes, all the transcribes, all the show notes, and all the free weekly trading tips. bettersystemtrader.com.